Hi folks, and this one is for Becky Stiles. Okay, she did 2 videos today on food storage. First time, very good. Now, she's still learning a lot of stuff. Uncle Alan has 40 years of doing this. Go read my homepage. Oh, Uncle Alan's tired. And this is my 3rd video tonight. I'm going to try to do all 3 tonight. Put them out fast. I'm not going to do any fancy stuff, just plain old simple stuff. Uncle Alan's tired. Okay, folks, I will be adding other stuff to these videos, but this one's for flour and baking. Now, I do cheater methods, tricks. You could get a bunch of these little boxes. A lot of people hate it, but they're fast, they're quick, they're easy to storage. Put them inside a Mylar bag, 4 into a bag. Okay, freeze them first so you don't have any little critters in there. Put in some oxygen absorber and moisture control absorbers, and it'll be fine. Now, it does have expiration date. So within, let's see, where is the expiration date? Okay, best used by 5/05/21. That sounds normal. And this was packaged. They have about 6 months lifespan, so this is recent. Doing this at 2 in the morning. So anyway, you get a bunch of these cakes, breads, what else they have? Cakes, muffins, biscuits, brownies, pie crusts, pizza crust, baking mix, pancake and waffle mix. And they also have big boxes of Jiffy. This is a cheater way. Okay? Easy. I like these little boxes because Uncle Alan's always on the move. I'm not sticking around. I do both bug in and bug out, so I know what I'm doing. Second one, before we do on flour, you have to get this book, Becky. All right, gives you all bread recipes that could be adapted when you're bugging in. All right, because people, seriously, folks, if your stove doesn't work, how are you going to make bread? Can you cook it in a Dutch oven? Can you cook it in a Coleman oven? Can you make a baker? You know, you got to answer these questions. Can you use a reflector or reflecting oven? Now, I know Gil from Camp Patton's Family Compound used a reflector oven or a Coleman oven. I made pizza. I made cakes. I made brownies when I was a scout. Because A, I had a Dutch oven, and B, I know how to use a reflector oven. And I know how to use a baker. Okay, for flour, you should check out Page Family Homestead, our Journey Back. Okay, Page Family Homestead, our Journey Back. They have a good one. They're canning flour in jars. Myself, I don't do it because of risk explosion. You have to be very, very careful. All right, and I have a gas stove. So heating flour after you chill it and all that other whoopee stuff, and you put in heated jars, you have to be really careful. Okay, because you're heating flour in an oven. Electric's fine, gas, but you have to be really careful. All right, because I told James of Harshman Hills, what happens if you have a dust explosion? Well, you won't have a house. And you do small batches, like 5 pounds. And you want whole flour, not self-rising, plain flour. Okay, another trick is use Bisquick. All right, check on the date on the box. You can transfer it into Mylar bags, soda bottles. I know how to store stuff all over the place. Mason jars, cans. You can buy it professionally in a canned flour, or pancake mix, but they have, the secret is, why it doesn't go rancid, it is bathed in nitrogen. Okay? The whole can is filled with nitrogen, so the molecules of the flour don't get rancid. When you break down wheat into flour, it breaks loose some of the fats. Now, you could have 30-year of wheat in a can, and then you grind it, not a problem. You could grind oats. You could grind mesquite beans. You could grind, you see Rob Painless's video, he grinds everything. Grains and stuff. It's not a problem. You could grind beans into flour. You could grind peas into flour. Trust me, I did it. I know what I'm doing. It's not very good. Trust me. Okay? Because in history, a lot of people complained about the green bread or pea bread. All right? They would riot. They would have bread riots because they ate potato bread or they ate oat bread. Scots didn't care because they're used to it. And that was a form of bread. Now, this is why I tell a lot of people to read this book. And this is to help out Becky Stiles. Because I know she's working, she's busy. Also, she had a first aid question. Check with your company if they have a first aid course and CPR. They'll pay for it. Take it. It looks good on your work human resources sheet. Looks very good. Once you take the class, then you could ask me what kind of book. Now, I showed you earlier this one from a past video, and he covers first aid and light rescue. This is written by EMT with nurse training, okay, and until you get proper first aid. And it covers basic first aid injuries. Now, there are better books, but I tell people take the courses first, then buy the books. Okay, on flours, we have regular flour, we have bleached flour, we have self-rising flour. A good one to see, check out. My voice is almost gone. Is Palmetto Prepare. He does a lot of baking like I do. And I do recommend you check out his channel right here. Okay. Trick with flour is you have very limited lifespan. Anywhere from 6 months from now and 6 months, depending on the condition of that type of flour. If you have any other enriched, self-rising, bleached, any other kind of flour, unstable, okay, store 5 pounds of flour. Make sure you know what it is. If you have to, photocopy the ingredients and stick it on, glue it onto the Mylar bag. You could do 5 pounds at a time. You could do it in food saver bags. I would recommend it for the first time. Do not spend your money on Mylar on flour. Flour goes too quick. It gets infested too easy. You have to be really careful because flour and open flame does not mix. Trust me on that. You'd use other materials like Mesa, okay, because some people may have a wheat problem. Or you could use oat flour. There's a whole bunch of different flours. You just got to run through it. Go check your low carb or special diet area. You'll see different forms of flour. Now, if you're baking, like I said, you should get a cookbook and you should go through your grocery store. I don't have the time. I don't have the funding to do a proper cooking channel or survival channel. It's just me, and I'm going to do about maybe 600 videos, and that's it. A lot of you are not ready. You are barely going through the 5 phases. That's disease, which is clobbering everybody throughout the world. Weather and natural disaster. That's the second one, clobbering everybody. Third one is starvation, economic warfare throughout the world. Number two, them. And the last one, they'll take your kids. But nobody ever listens to the 5 phases or Uncle Al. All I have to do is, I told you so. Nobody reads my homepage. It's your fault. So I'll catch you later. You have a nice night. This is the last of it. Real easy with Jiff, and they do come in bigger boxes than this. I just like to use this size. And be sure to check out those channels. And be sure you try to get this book by these folks right here. Makes all sorts of wonderful bread in different configurations. If you're using a baker, if you're using a reflected oven, if you're using a Dutch oven, you should read that book. Excuse me. Blowing out my throat. And that's for you, Becky. Okay, experiment. Start with 5 pounds each. Don't do it too much. Start with 5 pounds of flour because you just started food storage. Do not go overboard because a lot of people who food storage for the first time make a lot of mistakes. They don't understand oxidation, rancidness, amount of fat in the food, and they'll freeze dry it, dehydrate it, and they'll goof it up. Okay, because they don't understand if you dehydrate it wrong and you don't have it in a clean surface and your fingers are all over it, guess what happens? If it has too much sugar or fat content on it, you just made a dehydrated bacteria dish. Okay? I'll catch you later, folks. You have a nice day now.